Y'all hear me? Okay, I know what it is.
Oh wait.
So you know I got to lean in.
Yes, and you know we've got to lean in. Welcome to the Belle Collective Review, the reunion season 3, 4, and maybe 5, parts 2 and 3. And we're gonna go out with a bang. I have some of my favorite Bells on the panel and the platform. We have the one and only Danny, the one and only Aisha, the one and only Sammy. Thank God. It's only one and only Sammy. Thank God. How y'all doing?
I'm well.
You
I'm
know,
good. Sorry, I was drinking juice and I didn't want to answer and just start coughing at the same time. But
I do that a lot.
yeah, I must go down the wrong pipe.
It always goes down the wrong pipe with me.
Oh, well, not always with me, but
Anywho, Asia, how are you?
I think she still can't hear. I think she's having technical difficulties.
There's a thing that says tap for sound, and maybe that's what it is. Because that's what was wrong with mine.
I think she's trying to tap your screen first. No? Maybe she's texting.
Okay, I can hear y'all on my phone.
Oh,
Okay, perfect.
uh-oh.
That's a big echo, baby.
I don't know what to do.
So, okay, you on 2 devices?
Yeah.
Mute one.
Yeah.
Mute one of them.
Say, can you hear me? So
When she
mute the one where
talks.
you
Mute the
mute
other
the one that you're
one.
listening to us on, and leave this one unmuted. What about now?
I can hear y'all.
And we,
Wait, hold on. How do I mute this? I don't know what is going on. Oh, babe, if I could, I would.
yeah.
All right, we're going to move on. Go ahead and drop her down. We're going to get that figured out. We're going to bring her back up because we really cannot do this show without Asia, dog. We cannot do it with the actual Belle,
We need the bell.
me and her. But
We need all
anyway,
4 bells today.
all 4 of them. So we're going to go ahead and move right along and get started with our show. And we're backstage. Oh, before we do, we're going to go ahead and
This
lean in.
Tambra fault, by the way.
Huh?
This Tambra fault that her mic ain't working. She not invited to the Capitol.
Tampa don't invite girls to the Capitol. And honestly, should Tampa have been invited to the reunion? What y'all say? Yeah or nay?
I'm
What
gonna say
reunion?
yeah. I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll let Tampa live for now. But before we do, make sure that you guys like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you guys are, responding with us, keeping up with us. And what we'll go ahead and do because, it's a special thing. We're actually live for a Bell Collective. We'll go ahead and if you don't mind production, Danny, is go ahead and just drop the link in. If you guys want to call in, if you're watching, call in if you're watching. I don't know what to say. Other than that, we're gonna go ahead and move right along with the show. We're still backstage from part 1, and Marie says that Latrice is rotten on the inside. Latrice is backstage venting and saying that if they call her a little girl, they need to make sure they call her a little girl with the biggest pockets and the most money because she is the money girl of that show. I was gonna say of the leading. I had to catch myself and be like, of the what? Of the Bell Collective. She is the money girl, and she got all the money, and everybody else is basically some broke hoes. I'm paraphrasing, I'm adding it in there, but her shoulder, when she was doing this, that's what the shoulder was giving. What the shoulder not giving
I
that,
had to
y'all? What
put
y'all think?
allegedly down there about the whole money, her being.
Well, I mean, she said it. Leticia says that,
No, I'm
and she
saying it
said it.
allegedly at her saying it.
Oh, right. And she said it though, and it's so crazy that she's the most money. But she said it in front of Tambra, and Tambra did nothing. I was like, girl, what? Anyway, Tambra, we'll get to Tambra in a little bit. Leticia says that Latrice is fake and that she's always said to her that the fans love the two of them together and that all that they have to do is plant a seed of doubt. And now watching the show back, she sees that that's all Latrice does is plant seeds of doubt. And I have to tend to agree, and we're gonna get to that because I do want to talk about that. And then Glendale gets in and he says that, Leticia is a queen, and queens do not come up off of their chariots to play with the snakes, and that she's a different caliber of woman from Latrice who will self-destruct because she's evil, and that deserves to be talked about as well. So when we go back to it, I want to talk about basically she's saying that they planted seeds of doubts, that Latrice plants seeds of doubts throughout the show. And I have to tend to agree about that because remember the last part of the reunion that we did, we said that we felt like there was no answers, there were more questions than answers that we got, and that everybody lying, everybody a liar, everybody a liar, everybody a liar. Who the hell is telling the truth on this show? And now it leads me to believe even more that Latrice is a big ass liar because if you're planting seeds of doubt, it's easy to refute anything anyone says and create chaos. And honestly, I am over it. And I said that last reunion, and last part of the reunion, but I'm over this thing. Either you said it or you didn't, own it or you didn't. And I just feel like she is, again, not a good friend, as I've always said, since we've been reviewing this show on the platform. Sammy, what did you think about that? Did you think anything about that?
It's very clear that Latrice is playing a game. What I'm not certain on is why they're allowing her to, because I mean, you clearly know that this girl is planting seeds of doubts. Why are you not giving us more to help us understand what you understand? Is it because you can't, because you played with her at some point up until it didn't benefit you anymore? Because I don't see, especially Marie. Well, I guess Marie and Latrice aren't as close as Leticia and Latrice was. So I don't understand why Leticia is not putting something forth for us to understand. Help us decide who we need to be side on, because at this point, I'm looking at everybody on the stage of confusion, except for Aisha and Sogucci. And when it comes to her in the background, Latrice had the money game. You can have all the money in the world and still be miserable. And she really has to stop tossing that around when you have someone like Marie saying that she can retire herself and be done. And then you got Latrice still trying to figure out this building. And this was back in what, July? And I ain't seen her posting about no grand opening or nothing. And we come on, like, is the money yours? Do you have access to the money, or does it have to be signed off by daddy? Like, what's really happening? You can't keep hollering you the money girl when you're not making money moves. So that's
Have the access to the money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Danny?
So I agree with both of y'all, but my thing is, so I think that Latrice, Leticia, and Marie are a lot alike, and I think all of them have the capability to lie a lot, and not be a good friend. The difference is, I think that Leticia and Marie know how to turn it off and be genuine at times too. They know how to be a good friend to each other. Latrice just her batteries stay on backstabbing and lying on you and everything, because that's the easiest way to deflect from everything she has going on. To keep attacking you. But the most interesting thing I got from this scene was wondering how is Cliff going to react to what Glendale said about his wife?
Yes.
That's
that
the
is
most
it,
interesting
Danny.
thing I got.
I want to address that next. So yeah, let's just talk about it because Glendale really wore Latrice ass out. And you know what? If Glendale does not have anything to excuse me, if Cliff does not have anything to say about what Glendale said about Latrice, it's because they so buddy and they the big dogs and not little puppies that he agrees and he feels the same way. And Glenn is only repeating stuff that Cliff has told him in confidence.
Aisha, can you hear us?
Yes.
There we go.
Had to go to Best Buy and go buy me a computer real quick.
And
So
look like
I got me a new laptop DoorDash to my house.
And look like you changed too.
She being messy, y'all, but we're gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that get. You had a DoorDash to the house?
Does the laptop ding too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, so y'all, since we talking about it, I want us to have little bells tonight, to ring the bells, you know what I'm saying? Baby, I've been getting cussed out by this panel consistently for the last 2 days, and I'm over it. This is the last show. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
I
I
don't even
just
know if
think
I talked
the
about
bells would have been a perfect idea for episode 1. But I mean,
We would have been breaking the bells on a lot of stuff. So Asia, I'm gonna give you the recap of what we discussed. We've only really discussed the backstage scene where Marie said that Latrice was rotten on the inside. Latrice says that if they call her a little girl, call her the little girl with the most money, and she said it in front of Tambra Cherie face, and Tambra didn't just do nothing and say nothing to her, even though she got punked out by Latrice in front of her face, and she didn't do nothing. And then where Leticia says that Latrice likes to plant seeds of doubt, and she tried to get her to co-conspire to do so throughout the season. And now watching it, she sees how Latrice plants seeds of doubt on everything throughout the season. And Glendale said that that Tisha was a queen, and she should not step off of her chariot to throw tomatoes with a snake, sweetheart. And how is Cliff gonna feel about Glendale reading his wife to filth? Unless Glendale is only repeating what Cliff has already told him. Did you have anything about the backstage scene that you felt about it?
it wasn't good.
I liked
It-
it.
I know, however, I saw it already. Like we've seen it on other, like we saw it on Married to Medicine. So
I
just
think
it was given copy and paste to me. I'm glad that Latrice is getting read, but her responses to me are kind of weird too. Like I'm the child with the most money. Everybody here has money. So
Now to read.
congrats. Like it's not a bar. So like I want to like her, but she doesn't give me anything, and it's just to me, it's like copy and paste of Married to Medicine with Claude Mariah, and on her behalf, not anybody else's. Like, come up with something else, or run away like the little baby you are, because you're not really doing nothing. Even did y'all talk about the scene where she walked away with her her
Josh.
yeah
No,
Joshy?
we haven't gotten there
But
yet.
that's
But we
the
can.
second half of this review.
Oh,
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. We were just talking about the backstage scenes because I felt like if anything was planted, I want to know what Cliff's reaction is going to be to seeing Glendale call his wife a snake and basically say she's not to be trusted and stuff like that. I want to know what he feels about that
it's
since
nice.
they so close.
You know what, Chase? Too. Asia had a good point. Like we trying to tell you about your marriage, you're not a good friend, and your comeback is I got the most money. That's a deflection because that's not the topic at hand here.
She does that a lot in the reunion, and we're gonna get right
It's a
into it.
sad life. It's a sad life she lived to be in the.
Not according to her. Tambra says now we're gonna get into it. Now Tambra says that her baby has her last name and not Greedy's last name because they are not married. Put a pin in that so we can talk about that. Tambra is asked about Marie revealing her pregnancy, and Tambra says that she was under strict orders from production and the network to keep it a secret, and that Marie went ahead and blabbed it. And Marie says that she basically did so because she felt like she needed to stand up for herself due to bullying accusations. So what did she turn around and do? Put that girl business in the street. And I think what she was trying to say, even though it wasn't clear, is I'm thinking that she was trying to say people were saying, "How could you bully her?" and all these things. And she was like, I didn't know she was pregnant. I guess in essence, revealing that she is pregnant. Before we got to that, she just like a bully. We didn't know she was pregnant. We just knew that she was a bully. But we're gonna get into it. And so that happens. And then Marie says that she feels offended that Tamper did not inform the ladies about the guy, her ex-boyfriend, and that her life was in danger by him, in essence, putting all of the Bells in danger as well by A, not willingly telling them that she was pregnant, and B, not really disclosing much information about the ex. Latrice says that she knew the whole time, and everybody knew exactly who this ex was. So she's not understanding what the hell is Marie's talking about, and I really didn't either. Leticia says that he did reach out to everyone, and that no one engaged or discussed it because they felt like it just was low down and dirty and messy. And then when Latrice did bring it up to um, Tambra Cherie, Tambra said that it was a fake account and fake, and she just dismissed the whole thing. So no one believed that it was true until I guess somehow they eventually go to meet with this guy. Marie said that she did apologize to Tambra, but she was not going to kiss her ass about it. That girl. And Latrice says that again that they all knew, but the Bells most vehemently. Leticia and Marie disagree.
You froze.
Yeah.
Marie then says that Tambra needs
Yes.
to live in her truths. And she also needs to tell everybody how her and Greedy are together. And baby, when I said that 10 episodes ago and 2 seasons ago that they're not together, but it still doesn't mean that that's not her baby daddy. So I don't really understand what she was trying to give to that. So what did you guys think about the whole Tambra and Marie of it all? I just want to say that I don't know how I feel. You know, some parents do give the child their maiden name if they're not married, and some give them their last name. I just feel like with her saying this, and then the way that she was about revealing the pregnancy, and she told her family, but he couldn't tell his. She just seems like a nightmare to her sperm donor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's what
know,
gives me
oh,
that she just wanted a sperm donor because even if why couldn't you hyphenate the baby's last name? Or if you're with this man and the goal is the intent is to marry him, why not give the baby his last name? Because eventually you're gonna have his last name as well. It was weird. I mean, it's clear that, like I said, she was running out of time. She knew Greedy was a good man. He ain't got no kids. Let me go ahead and get my baby out of him before it's too late. That's what it's given at this point. And we have to also remember how she was ready to move up out the house with him initially earlier in the season. So I think the baby kind of just made her say, "I'll stick around to get what I need, and if it works for us, it works. But if not, at least I got my child." When it comes to Marie and that whole, she was in danger because she didn't know Tambra was pregnant, and she didn't know Tambra the whole man. What are you talking about, Marie? And that's just upsetting with me
I didn't get it
when
either.
it comes to Marie because one of the things that got me when I first started watching is they were very raw. Like that authenticity that they had originally, it's not visible anymore. It's like I don't. It's like they're doing stuff for the show, and it's making them not enjoyable. If you thought the man was a threat to you in the Bills, why the hell would you write him back and go meet him? Tamara, you talking about they told you thought it was a fake account, but they were giving information that you knew was real. You didn't think maybe he is trying to do something. Like what the hell are y'all? What's going on?
It's a mess.
It's nothing makes sense in it.
yeah, and I just don't understand what she wanted Tambra to tell her. Tambra said she ain't heard from that man in 5 years. They thought about him, and talked about him. What was the point in telling them? They were in no present danger from him now. She wasn't. So Marie definitely made this up, just to justify why she went. The real reason that she wanted to be sneaky to go meet that man.
And I don't like that they were saying that that wasn't the intent to come back. And yes, it was. We
Yes, it
saw the
was,
episode where y'all said and y'all
because
talked about
Tambra
it like
said if that wasn't the intent, you would have came to me directly.
you would have came to me before even going to him because girl, somebody trying to
Yeah,
get you.
as a matter of fact, before going to him. So Marie
You
strike. I
lost
don't
you
know what it
that
is,
one.
but yeah,
Asia.
you say you retire, and you might need to retire from the Bells too.
Yes.
Ooh, well,
Oh,
Asia, this is what I want to say, Asia, and I want to see what you think about this. I now having watched this, and with coupled with them going to meet that man, and coupled with them with Marie revealing the pregnancy announcement before it was time, and she said that she did it because they're not close, and so she didn't know it was a secret, even though it wasn't your damn business to tell Monroe. That wasn't your business to tell Monroe, and you know better than that. And then previous seasons with them bringing the girl who was dating Greedy onto the camera and stuff like that. Do you feel like they bullied Tambra Cherie? And then what do you think about everything else?
I won't say bully, but they just don't like her and they treat her as such. I wouldn't say bully because they don't bully down on her. Like bully down is like every time you say get your wig shifted, bitch, like that's some bully shit. I think they don't like her and so they use everything against her legally that they can. But it doesn't give bully to me. It gives I don't like you and I'm gonna let you know every time I see you. I think that Marie, she wrong for what she doing, but she don't care at the end of the day. So the way stuff comes out, she can genuinely be like, "Well, I'm in danger because you ain't tell me you was pregnant, and I was like about to, I was stressing you out, and you could have let me know you was pregnant, so I wouldn't be stressing you out because now I'm." It's stupid, but you know you being mean to that girl. You mean to her,
You
and
don't
you
have to
feel
be.
bad because you being mean to her when you shouldn't have been. But if you mean enough, it would have been fine. But you too mean. You're not bullying, but you too mean to her. Where it's just like, girl, you doing too much. About that baby last name, don't give me no hyphenated name. Pick one and give it to me. I don't got time for that. Don't nobody want all that spelling.
You know,
I
and
just think that's it's selfish. I don't know. I just feel like maybe it's not selfish if you know you agree upon it, but the things that she said leading up to that, and then this, it just feels like she said this is her baby. This is not, and that I have to agree with Marie when she says the girl need to live in her truth. What the hell you mean? No, that's not real. That's a fake account. That ain't real. But is it your real tea?
but you know, another observation I have from this too is that Marie treats Tambra the way she complains that Latrice treats her. So if Marie wants to be like that, she should go ahead and accept it from Latrice too. Because the same way she don't care about how mean she is to Tambra, she shouldn't care or be upset that Latrice don't take accountability for what she does because she don't care either.
Yep.
They're one and the same when it comes to that, Latrice and Marie.
Yes, they are.
Neither one
They're a
of
lot
them give a
alike. That's
damn.
why they don't get along. They're a lot alike.
I know one thing I would
Nasty.
say that to end this office, I hope like hell Greedy signed on that birth certificate because Tamara finna take that baby and get somewhere if he didn't.
She better get on like
What I
all
will say
night,
is,
baby. She
say
gonna
all
be
this,
gone.
but Greedy might have agreed to the name and all that stuff ahead of time. He might have agreed to be this person. We really don't know. It looks funny on the outside, but we also in a new day and age that taking your daddy last name, that is an old tradition. Maybe they just being new age people, even if I don't
That
like it.
ain't you, because I ain't got my daddy last name. My
Me
mama
Listen, the
either.
was
only reason why I raised
married.
Oh, well,
suspicion
see,
about it is because she was being so, selfish during the filming process of what we saw. I feel like her actions were selfish. What's happening?
They were. They were.
they were.
They were. I think I not even I think. At this point,
It's clear.
everybody is selfish. All of them. Marie, Tambra, all of
The
them.
whole
And
cast.
Marie, Tambra, and Latrice. All three of them for sure are some selfish women. And it shows. And that's why they had that triangle of distrust. Because they all see
Mm,
each other.
you
And
got
they're
that
not
right.
changing.
Now the men are out, and JJ is hawking his wares, trying to sell those god darn it t-shirts, god darn it. Got that stuff god darn up in his hair, booyah, like DC and them did his hair on Babs, and all the men are out, and for what is his name, Willie to be so cityfied and sophisticated. He sure look country as hell, sitting up in that blue suit, didn't he? I hated it, hated it.
That tight.
It was small. It was almost as tight as Leticia dress on her. But Willie's handsome though. Willie's
Oh,
handsome.
Who cares? He was wearing an extra medium.
I'm sorry. The only ones who
hated
look
it.
decent with their clothes on was Glenn and Cliff.
Was
Yeah.
Cliff. It was Cliff.
Well, yeah, Cliff, because Glenn was a little country too.
A
Yes, but
little.
he at least his
But it
clothes.
looked, but he wore it. You know, he didn't
His
let it
clothes
wear him.
fit.
He wore it.
His clothes fit. So
Glenn like he did snuff. Ain't that right, TKC? I know TKC know what snuff is.
No,
Allegedly.
Not Glenn, but Cliff. Did I say Cliff?
you said Glenn.
Cliff like he dipped snuff.
At this point, Glenn, if Cliff different it than Glenn on the way, he followed his sensei. So hell, you said
well,
it right away.
Bappa juice. Anyway,
I'm gonna
so
just
they
call
out
him
there
Glyph.
again.
Not Glenn. That's so cute.
Cliff,
That is
that
so
is
cute.
funny. Willie, again, talking all that mess and sitting there looking country as hell. And we start with Treese and Cliff at M Bar. And, we all felt the type of way about that M Bar scene. So I'm glad we're talking about it at length. Treese says that Cliff does not grab her and only did so because, she went to the bar after they had that argument. Um, and that Cliff does not call her a bitch unwarranted. So they are, big fighters, and he may have called her a B during the argument, but not just because, is what she's saying. Um, Latrice then also clarifies that if she was abused, would she try to cover up her areas where she could have been abused? And he's old school, but he ain't a damn fool. And I don't know what she's been watching or what she's been living with, but she's clearly deluded because that man is a damn fool and he old school. Okay. Um, I did like that though. I thought it was funny.
But
Uh,
it wasn't.
oh, okay, girl, okay, girl, okay, girl. She thinks it's crazy that the ladies have so much to say when they're victims of domestic abuse, which, is low for her to say, but it's Treese. Aisha then says that, they all hear things about one another, but she didn't really believe what she heard until she saw the Embar scene herself, and it felt like there was truth to some of those rumors about the nature of Cliff and Latrice's relationship. Cliff says that she has a phone, and if something happened to her, she can call immediately. And Aisha lets them know that that's not necessarily how domestic abuse works. And she knows people who have been abused for 30 plus years and they don't leave the situation. Cliff isn't controlling, he's demanding, and he didn't choose to marry a younger woman. And in essence, and in fact, excuse me, that Latrice chose him and gave him an ultimatum, stating that if they weren't going to get married, he left, and because he loved her, he married her. Um, and that the most that they ever do is they track each other's locations on their phone, but there's no like tracker on her vehicle or anything borderline obsessive. um Leticia says, unlike Latrice, what they speak about regarding husbands is going to be private and remain in the vault. And so she's not going to divulge, what they discussed in front of the group. And Cliff says that he was upset that Joshy was disrespectful in his house. And then the next night, Latrice goes out with him to Embar. He regrets calling her a bitch and has apologized for it already. And Latrice feels safe and that she wouldn't change her life with anyone else that's on the stage, and that the other Bells have way more problems in their marriage than Latrice does, which continues the theme of Latrice talking about everybody's business other than hers. I ask you, Danny, what you think about it?
So I will say I don't know if he's physically abusive, but he is mentally abusive to her. Um, she is he knows that she needs him. Um, Karen Huger here. If Latrice has said she's okay with it, what are we supposed to do? She has said she's okay with it. She loves her life. Wash your hands of it. Like, stop talking about it. You never gonna get a straight answer other than her to come back and start lying on you. Or even if she's not lying, start telling your business. So, just let it go. She said she's fine. So hey.
Yeah.
That's all I don't know what else to
David?
say on that. Like
What it is with her, it's like everybody's tired. She's not changing. She's not growing. Nothing's changing about her. She doesn't, really live in the reality. She lives in delusion. Maybe she in Barbie land. That's fine, but let her live that. I think where it gets tricky, especially in this segment, is we see firsthand that we're asking about you and you bring everybody else into it. And they have nothing to do. Our marriages ain't got nothing to do with the question at hand. So how we getting?
Yeah, I don't know if this is her, like always has been her personality, or if this is just what she's normalized being with him. Because when Carlos asked, "Does he call you a bitch?" she was like, "Well, basically, we kind of do it to each other." So she may feel like whatever she does get from him at this point is fair game, or she deserves it because she gives it back to him. I mean, it seems like with Latrice, as long as Cliff got them deposits still coming in, she gonna stick around until she can't stick around. So at this point, they just need to leave it alone. If
She
he
signed
said,
a 360. She had to. 360. Because what is going on? Like, that ain't no way to live life. She's
but when
too
you,
good to live like that.
yeah, but it seems like if she came from nothing and he didn't kind of giving her everything, she gonna roll with it.
She could
She's not
find.
giving up her life for anybody on that stage, she said.
She did. It's her soul is already sold. So
But
Mm.
to Cliff, god damn,
that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna do it to somebody else, like an NFL coach.
somebody who you don't mind giving a child to, because that's Cliff. She ain't getting that building to Cliff get a baby. Watch.
Cliff ain't getting that baby. So
you ain't getting your baby till I get mine.
Hello. And there ain't gonna be no chandeliers in the bathroom neither.
So yeah, everybody that's a purgatory relationship right there. Like I said, she
Mm.
just signed a 360 deal, and
Ah,
it's time for her album to come out, and it's on the shelf.
on the shelf. Now I would like to say that I did not understand what she was posting because it didn't look like her business, but she did post a picture of her bar that they're working on is about to open soon. So maybe that's what they're going to talk about season 4 and 5.
Nobody
But
care
And so
about
that's Cliff saying we're gonna do a business
this reunion
together
was filmed
in
last
July,
year,
July,
and you
August.
just now posted that it's still gonna open soon. Girl, gone.
it's so late. She's so late. She pretty, but that's it. And it's just like
Is
at the end
she?
That's
Well,
that's
Josh got
something
a
though.
flip and
So
tree.
so
Oh,
so this girl is trying to build her warehouse for her hair, and you gonna put y'all into a joint business together versus overlooking what she's trying to do. It's
of
like a
course
whole. He want to keep his eyes on her. He want
keep
to
his
keep.
ass on her.
Yeah,
Would y'all
it's
eat out of Cliff House?
no. You know what? And now that's gonna. I'm gonna say it. I don't think I would eat from anybody on that cast.
Well, Aisha the one said she got it going on when it comes to that.
They
And
know how
she
to
eating
order. They
pig
know how to
ears and
order.
stuff like that. Yeah, I would do. She can DoorDash me some stuff, but I just wouldn't.
I love Leticia
not.
down, but I can't eat from the people say the place dirty, love. I can't do it, Tisha. I'm sorry, girl.
I want to eat in none of their houses.
Yeah.
I'd rather eat at Applebee's.
Take me down to M Bar, see what they got on the happy
Oh,
hour.
I could not do that. Y'all, I had Applebee's one time. I don't know if I told you this story. Had Applebee's a couple years ago.
Is
Had chicken
Applebee's a
wings, right?
dirty place?
I had chicken wings, right? I'm like, if you never know what to order from a restaurant, get the chicken wings. You can't really go wrong with chicken wings. If you mess up a hot wing, it's a wrap. Come on, dog. It's hot wing. So I bite into the hot wing. I didn't even swallow the hot wing and I almost lost my bowels all over myself in the middle of the restaurant.
Was that nasty?
I, it was the first chicken wing. I feel like that was the first chicken wing in creation that they gave me. And I bit it, almost broke my tooth, and almost pooped my pants right in the middle of the restaurant. It was gross.
I put it on a flow sogucci.
Well,
Okay. Latrice says there's a huge misconception because she is not afraid to leave her marriage because she's a strong, independent woman. And Cliff um, never puts his hands on her. And he then again apologizes. He did a lot of that throughout the reunion. Then we have Sammy's favorite cast member, Joshy, who comes on the stage. And Joshy arrives. And Cliff says if he's so controlling, Joshy wouldn't be there. Fight back, Josh. Fight back. Lord Jesus. Cliff says that he isn't a Belle. Um, that he referring to Josh, he isn't a Belle, and he counts Belle, 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 King, Belle, 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 and calls Joshy a Jack. Fight back, Joshy. Fight back. Joshy feels that Latrice will tell him things um, going on in their relationship with the intent of him confronting Cliff. Cliff stands by kicking Joshy out and says that Cliff stands by kicking Joshy out, and Joshy says that he left. And Cliff was like, "Did you check the seat of your pants? Because my boot imprint was on that motherfucker. Ooh, but my boot imprint was on it. So you definitely got kicked out of this house." And they agreed to disagree. Well, they didn't even agree to disagree. They disagreed about whether he left or was put out of the house. Um, and then Joshua says that every time he is around Cliff, Cliff is very hostile with him. But he does clarify that he has never seen Cliff put his hands on Latrice. He had no idea Cliff was still feeling a type of way about him when they were at the M bar, and he felt ambushed by Cliff. Cliff then apologizes, and Joshy, still upset in that moment, does not know exactly how to feel about it, and at the moment does not accept the apology. And he says he's not doing that because he feels like it's done because they're on TV, when he does not feel that that is exactly how uh, Cliff feels. Joshy says that he tried to apologize to Cliff, and Cliff gets upset. Cliff says, you don't have to try to apologize. You just apologize. And Latrice says that she feels like she has to choose between her husband or her friend, and she's seen the love that they have between one another. And Cliff goes ahead and clarifies that it is only a high and by relationship, and there is no love all relationship that they have. However, at that point, Carlos steps in and says, "No, you guys had a friendship relationship." And Cliff says, "Well, it was like a little puppy." And when he says that, everybody on the stage at that point chimes in and lets Cliff know he's being disrespectful. But Cliff clarifies that he meant that it's a puppy relationship, meaning that it's a puppy that needs to grow to a dog. And him and Glendale have a big dog relationship, and theirs is just like a puppy kind of relationship. Um, they asked Willie what was Cliff talking about, and Willie sitting up there looking like Augusta, Georgia, says he does not know what Cliff is talking about, as per usual, and needs to have subtitles in order to understand. That wraps up Joshy's segment, and Joshy is becoming emotional, and he's comforted by Aisha, Carlos, and then escorted off stage by Latrice, who just wants to make sure he does not mess up his beautiful beat job. 1 to 10, Sammy, what would you give his
0.
look?
0. I didn't understand none of that. Nothing. I didn't understand. They didn't talk about nothing. I didn't get his purpose.
No, I thought he said his look.
0. That I didn't understand none of that either. I didn't understand none of that either.
She seemed like a librarian. What I don't know. She was serving I don't know what she was serving. Girl.
Wow, Sammy, it's the same as me.
No, I didn't.
But I won't disagree with Sammy on the score.
You said you will or you won't?
Well,
I won't.
He was all in his best blouse. He was giving it to the people.
And then he took his shoes off when he had to. I'm like, this is the.
He was emotional.
He shouldn't have came.
He shouldn't have came. It served no purpose. In this
he was supposed to fight back. I'm very disappointed in you, Joshy.
I maybe he was more upset because his friendship with Latrice has somewhat disconnected. But I mean, speak on that. Like something. Yeah. Why are you here? Give us. Why are you here?
He was being weak, and I think that he thought he was gonna garner some sympathy from the audience, but nah, fight back. Tambra gotta speak up. Everybody gotta speak up. You gotta speak up.
He didn't have to address Cliff. He could have just spoke in regards to his relationship with Latrice and how that has been hindered because of what happened.
And it's her fault.
It's her fault, and
that's the thing. Because here's the thing, I'm with Cliff in the sense that you're not going to disrespect me in my house. I don't care
who you are.
But I also feel that Latrice made Josh comfortable enough to act like that. So Josh ain't 100% to blame there either. It all boils back down to Latrice.
It's all Latrice's fault, girl. Because you had him. You was telling him your business.
No, for this comment. You can't stay out their marriage. You can't tell me all about the marriage, and I'm there.
Ain't nobody even looking at that. Because nobody looking at that. It's Latrice's fault because she was telling Joshy her business. Then she also didn't say like don't say nothing or anything. Like she didn't cue him to not even speak on it. So he thinking he defended her. He wrong because he is in a marriage. Like, and so from Cliff's purview, it's like, why are you in my marriage talking to me about this stuff? So Cliff is not really 100% wrong in being upset at Joshy and his business. But who he really should be mad at is Latrice.
It's his wife.
It's Latrice's fault. And I don't
That's not what he
like.
But
no person talk about your money. You fucking up your own. So sorry, y'all. Y'all know how I get. But you messing up your marriage that you claim with your damn daddy. Like it's too much. She's so weird at this point. Pretty girl, beautiful gown, but you messing up your friendships, your marriage. Like you messing up all your friends with the Bells. Like nobody likes you. Nobody.
She's self-destructive because she's not used to anybody sticking around.
Nobody likes her except for Sean. Sean, right, baby.
TKC.
Oh, and TKC. That's right.
Well, she's pretty, so I think if you like pretty girls, you gonna ride for her regardless. But you gotta have some type of substance.
But here's the thing, too.
Riding for her.
Josh said it on the show that he thought this coming here that he thought Latrice was telling him so that he could kind of bring stuff out, and Latrice kind of said, "Well, I can't take the blame for some of that because some of that is true." Like she kind of admitted that.
Yeah,
it was for TV. She was using him.
Yeah.
It was for TV.
Thank you, Isabel.
Yeah, he slid his little heels off walking out that show because he embarrassed himself. You embarrass yourself on here. You embarrass yourself on the show, and you come on the reunion and you embarrass yourself again. Fight back, like Sammy said, or get off. Don't nobody got time for no weak shit over here. It's not that time no more. We gotta do other things. So sorry. Beautiful gown, not the blouse.
Hey there, Isabel. Let me go ahead and shout out to people. Hey there, Isabel. Hey there, TKC. Hey, Zeta. Hey, Sean S.
Oh,
Girl, how
hi,
you
See, yeah,
doing?
Sean.
Zeta.
Hey, Robo's Adventure. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey to the people. Thank y'all for supporting us and rocking with the Bells. This is one of our, just our passion shows that we do here on the Lean, and we do appreciate all of the support that you guys have given us. We're going to go ahead and get into part 3 of the reunion, but before we do, make sure that you guys like and subscribe. And I'm going to ask you because I said it, but we were in the middle and my timing was off. But let me go ahead and ask it. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. I didn't appreciate the way that he was talking to that Joshy and trying to chump Joshy. Yeah, you got it going on, and yeah, you have a point, but you talking to Joshy a little bit too saucy for me, a little bit too sassy for me. Was it homophobic? Yes or no?
I think it was self-internal hate because the way he got too offended at the word relationship, gave me a feeling when he got too offended at the love that's there and the word relationship. So yeah, it's some inner demons going on there, in my opinion.
Especially when you're pointing out big dinglings and lying about it, even though it's on camera, which we'll get
Because
into on your
nobody
part,
else on
Danny.
that, none of the other men on that stage had a problem with Josh. They was all defending him when Cliff said the puppy
I had a
thing too.
problem
They all
with
thought
that.
it was wrong too.
It's wrong. What do you guys think before we move on? Yes or no?
I don't think it was homophobia. I think he was literally just sick of Joshy, just truly annoyed with him, and I could see why. So I think that's what it was. I think
Here's what
homophobia.
here's where I agree with you that he was sick of Joshy, but like the over explaining and over clarifying. Oh no, we weren't for. Oh no, we didn't have a relationship. That
I don't think it's homophobic because
okay.
Cliff might be gay.
Well, okay.
Well,
Allegedly,
that's
put it up right now, please. Allegedly,
Well, so
she
as we
said
go
Mike.
on,
She didn't say he was. So
so
Yeah, I said that, Mike. You caught it. Ah.
so I'm
you
gonna
know,
go ahead and move on to part 3
but
because
yeah,
I'm
let's
not finished.
on that cue. Um, so we pick up right where we left off, and Latrice and Josh are having a one-on-one after his appearance on the show. You can tell that Josh is still visibly upset, and Latrice says, "Child, we gonna do this when the cameras ain't around, so we can really make this thing work and have it be authentic." Um, Maybe Josh doesn't really respond and just walks off. Nothing else to add there?
He's sick of her.
Okay, and I would be too. The same way Cliff's sick of him. If I was him, I'd be sick of her because all this her fault. Um, so now Leticia and Glenn are in the hot seat as this part of the reunion really opens up. And they show some flashbacks of what are transpired between them over the season. And they are asked where things stand today. Leticia says they just celebrated their 20-year anniversary, and Glenn has proposed again, and they're having a renewal ceremony. Glenn says he married her as a boy, and he wants to marry the new elevated Tisha as a man. Marie says she is proud of the growth she has seen in him, and what matters most is Leticia's happiness. JJ says he is going to plan the bachelor and bachelorette party, but Glenn says, "Hold up, not you ain't planning no bachelorette party because I know what you bring to the table." And Leticia says she is 100% sure that Glenn will not revert. She is not 100% sure that Glenn will revert to what he used to be because it's a work in progress. But for right now, he is proving himself with more than just words. He's showing her with actions. Cliff is asked, is he happy that Glenn and Tisha are doing so well? And baby, he doesn't really say too much. So, Chase, I'll start this segment off for you. What do you think about this thing?
Um, if she likes it, I love it. It's been so. Did somebody sneeze?
Bless you.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard it right. Bless you. Um, if she likes it, I love it. I was not team Glenn, but they seem to be really happy. And so again, if she likes it, I love it. Normally on these reality shows, we all know that renewal of vows is the curse because within another year or two later, they be divorced. Whatever. But again, if she likes it, I love it. I don't think that Cliff is too happy about it, but oh well, too bad. So sad. I don't want to jump ahead because I do have thoughts on Cliff in relation to their marriage. Um, And so I want to say that for when we get to that. But as far as them being re-engaged and him falling in love with the woman that she's become, I really appreciated him saying that because, you know, you marry a person or you're with a person and people change after a certain amount of years. And it does take work to fall back in love with the person that you're with at that moment, especially when you realize that that is not the person that you married. You know what I mean? So if they've worked it out, I'm okay with it.
Sammy.
I mean, I agree. I can tell this is something Leticia wanted to fight for. So if she feels that he's in a better space where she can give it a go, I'm with it. I appreciate her for being honest, saying that she did not 100% trust him. I mean, at least she's going in there, I guess, with a clear head. I found him saying, "I married her as a boy. I want to marry her." I thought that was so corny, so cheesy, so tired. Like, regardless of you grow individually, clearly he has as well. Throughout the marriage, this woman was growing. Were you not paying her any attention? How did you miss all
He
these
was
things?
not.
You did all this cheating and the whole I want to be a grown man. I just found it like it was trash to me. But if that's where you at now, I'm glad you're finally here. But I just found it to be very corny. It was corny to me. But if
I
she like
agree
all that cheesy
'cause
stuff, then I
Well,
married her as a boy. I want to Cliff, please.
well, wait a
It was
minute.
just it was whack to me.
Well, wait a minute. What about
I mean,
love?
Glenn, what about what?
Love?
You got to ask him that, baby, not me.
you know, for me though, well, Asia, you go first. I'm sorry, I
I
didn't
got
mean
nothing
that.
to say about this. He's stupid.
He's dumb.
All I gotta say is I really hate sometimes that we have to applaud people for doing what they should have done in the beginning.
Yes.
That is so annoying to me.
It's no
That's
real.
true.
You don't get no clap because this woman been begging you for 3 seasons to behave,
The bars
and
in
now
hell.
and now you want a treat? No, sir.
She
But
got
if
she got shit to do. She
mm,
can literally elevate now, and he gonna be right back on that boat. So yeah, he got his stuff together. It's like you know how like who is it like Shannon Sharp or somebody like oh yeah he want to get married now, but he like 55 years old. Why do I want to be bothered with you? You old now. Like that's what Glenn is giving. Like oh I got it together now because I'm older.
I'm
No,
dried up now.
nobody wants you, and you
and,
know
Because your marriage to televised now, you can't even cheat in peace.
and
no.
also that comment that was made about Cliff telling him that he's Martell and Letitia's Melody is just like what are you really
That's
fighting?
coming
Are you
up.
fighting
That's
for
the
this
next
woman
Okay, I
segment.
want
because
to
you
make sure.
feel
I was
like
like, wait, did I not jump?
Yeah, that's the next
yeah,
segment.
okay, go ahead, I'll wait.
Calm down,
All right.
Bookie Doo. Well, I
Well,
just want
on
before
that
you
note,
start, I just want to say that, dang, y'all. But
Then I
if
got
she wasn't gonna leave him after a paternity test was done on national television, she ain't going nowhere, man. Because that's when I would have been at. To be
And I
honest
also
with you.
don't like how they just skated by. Like, dig into him, get him. Leticia ain't
yeah,
doing
he
it right.
got off
Carlos,
way too
like
easy.
it was
he
too
get off
easy
easy,
for me.
and
He got off easy.
she want him
I
off.
feel like he acted right up until the reunion, so Leticia can give a good report and everybody can ease up off him. He probably up acting hell now. We're gonna see that next season.
Because I really
Uh,
thought we were going to talk about that contract. Because remember, I had a lot of opinions
It was so much
about
that just we didn't
the
address. Like that
contract.
Joshy stuff, we could have asked that and talked about things that really matter.
Thank you, Sammy, because we could
and
have
we could
that
have that up too.
he could have saved his blouse
I
for
agree.
the time.
I agree.
But Cliff and Glenn's bromance is the next topic of conversation, and we also see some scenes replay of their relationship. Cliff says Glenn is a stand-up guy who keeps his word, and that's why he likes him. Carlos
That's right.
says that people think Cliff manipulates Glenn, and Leticia agrees. Cliff compares them to Martell and Melody from Love and Marriage Huntsville, which does not get a good reaction from Leticia. They discussed the stripper situation from Soguchi's birthday party, and JJ said that was the first time all the Bells were together having fun with no drama, and that Cliff is similar to Lucifer because he took that away from Leticia. Leticia is crying because she says that situation actually set her and Glendale back. She feels that Cliff does not want them happy. And Glenn says watching the scene now, it was very different from what Glenn told him. That he had to rewind it so many times to see if he missed something. And then Carlos asked Glenn if he talked to Cliff about it, and Cliff says no, to which Willie slides in and says, but y'all friends though. And I thought Willie ate for that. His country ass ate in that moment. But Asia, your thoughts?
Willie been eating in the comments the whole time. He just
Him and
dressed
Aisha ruled the reunion to me, but
yeah, he just
I feel like Aisha was quiet at the last two parts. Go ahead, Aisha. I'm sorry.
no, she did good. Um, I don't think Glenn is being manipulated by what's his name,
Cliff.
Cliff. I don't
No.
think. I think Glenn
Get
know.
on Yola.
He know what he doing, and he playing coy like the cute little couple they are.
Mm.
That's all.
Sammy.
I don't think I agree with Aisha. I don't feel like Glenn is being manipulated. I feel like he understands what he's doing. I'm trying to understand what he's doing though, and even when it comes down to the whole like that's something else. So you see that he was telling your wife go touch it, go do such and such. You ain't got nothing. You like we're not gonna address this. We just gonna
No smoke.
we just gonna move by. And then with the whole Martell and Melody thing, are you with Leticia and are you behaving because you really realize that you've been messing up and you love her and you want to make her happy? Or are you sticking around to make sure that you get what you feel like you're entitled to? Which
That
one is it? Because I'm not understanding. I'm not. It's they annoyed me. I'm sorry. Everybody annoyed me.
Tim,
I
he's
needed some
trying to get off
answers.
that boat. He's trying to get off that boat.
I needed answers. I didn't get nothing. Like I just, and I don't want to call Leticia narrow-minded, but it's like, girl, I hope you are paying attention. I hope you are paying attention because he's going to perform. He's going to give you what you need or what he feels like you want, so he can make sure he keeps his space. But you saw you. I'm sure he gave a whole presentation to Leticia when they watched that, and he saw how Cliff was acting at the little party. But he didn't give none of that to Cliff unless we didn't see it. So I hope Leticia is really paying attention to that. It's like everybody on the stage is aware that Clint and Cliff are two damn fools, except for Clint and Cliff. And at this point, hell, Leticia.
Mm-hmm. And just for you, I do want to say too that I do think that Cliff wants to break them up. Just because he's sitting there encouraging Leticia to go pull them on the man on the stripper's dangling, to go pull it down, so he can go tell Glendale that for real. Chase.
And then lies about it.
Yeah.
And
He
lies about
might
it.
want to be in a relationship.
Like JJ said, where were you the whole time to be able to be even seeing what they was doing? Because all the mans was over there.
Like, you
Darn
know,
it.
God darn it. I'm sick of that ghetto Yoda, God darn it. And I really wish that the hood prophet, whatever this advice is he's giving, you always must, darling, consider your source, darling. Consider the source. You see this man yoking his wife up, telling her that they'll never be equal, belittling her, dangling things in front of her to get her to do what you want her to do. And you think that that's a marriage make? It is not a marriage make. At
Mm-hmm.
this point, I do have to consider whether or not Glendale is either a fool or whether or not he wants to rule like this man rules his relationship. I just
Glenn moving like Ashley Darby. You know how Ashley Darby, she thinks she's smarter than everybody, but we all know she's not. That's how Glenn moving. He think he know what he doing when it come to Cliff
You
and
know,
his
is it one
wife.
of them things where he knows that Leticia? So Leticia's been so busy not paying him any attention, but he knows that that Cliff stuff gets under her skin. So let me do more of this, and then my wife will start paying me. She'll start paying me more attention, whether good or bad. She gonna come over here and be in my face.
And let me
I
get
don't
off
know.
this boat. The whole goal is to get off that boat.
Get off the boat.
I really feel like I never agree with Sean ever. I've never have historically probably never will agree with her ever. But but it's feeling like, first of all, when it comes to contract negotiations and things, right? I think that she did not operate in good business because if you want me to respect you as a businesswoman, you don't go making deals without consulting me. You don't go ahead and take percentages from my contract without consulting me. So I still stand by that was bad business that she did on his behalf because she made decisions as his wife and not his business manager or whatever, and then want him to respect her as the manager. However, I feel like lately there has been this interest in the Bells and wanting what's best for the Bells and being more present in these scenes on his behalf. And it's starting to feel like, why are you so interested in this show and in this platform when in the beginning, I don't know what she was doing. I guess he was a merchant seaman or something like that. You were never there, and now you be gone 6 months at a time. Now you always there. Now you filming. Now you and Cliff is the boys of the show, and y'all. It just something about it is very. Let me get this bag while I got it, and I really feel, unfortunately, as much as y'all know, I love Leticia, that she's setting herself up for a monumental high to crash down to an even more monumental low. if this does not work for her. And I just want her to be aware of what's going on. I know that she's aware of what Cliff's doing, but is she aware of her husband? And maybe we could be jumping ahead of the gun and just not giving that. But on the surface, it just appears to be a little bit more to the surface than what they're presenting to us, especially Glenn. And like I said, I don't think he is as naive as as he portrays himself to be. And I do think that he too is looking at this as an opportunity. And that's the one thing about this show that I kind of am disappointed in. If I wanted to get Love and Marriage Huntsville, I would watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. I do like the husbands on the whole on this particular show, but I want more of the Bells and less of the fellows.
I'm gonna say this. Given that because she literally sat there and cried and was saying how that moment at the party took them back and how hurt she was and just low about the situation. So for her to have had to address the situation with Glenn, and then they both see how Cliff was acting, and for Glenn to know that really he got the message back wrong, and then it really hurt his wife in the process, and you don't check Cliff on that or do something to make her feel like I understand it. You not rocking with how me and Cliff's relationship is, and he's probably not doing right by me and giving me information that's going to make me attack you. For him to not take that moment, and even not even have to be nasty with Cliff, but just let him know that that was foul and it was wrong, and then apologize to Leticia as well. It was just whack to me. Like that showed that he's just going to keep as long as he's okay. It don't matter if she is or not, and that's what I don't like.
Ding, ding, ding. I wish I had a bell right now to agree, but
Oh, shut up, ass.
and now we have
Where
Carlos.
did it still work?
Carlos asking Aisha if she is the queen of Jackson or New Jersey, honey. And Aisha said, "Baby, I'm the queen of wherever I am." And they bring up some of the Twitter stuff they were saying on Twitter. She says she doesn't really respond to interact with people on Twitter. And Willie says that they have had conversations with the officials from the city. And Aisha says, many of the important conversations are not filmed because the officials can't be on TV. And the topic shifts to her health, and she is managing by trying new things. Sorry, y'all, my dogs were barking in the background, and I couldn't hear you. Willie wants her to exercise more with sogucci. Carla asked Aisha, how was it working with Marie and Essie? And Aisha says, what do you mean, how was it working with it? How was it working with Essie? Aisha says she thought it was something that was already established and that she was going to work with Marie more on it. Marie says, baby, I have paid my dues and I am retiring next year. Sorry for that interruption. Yeah, it just kind of threw me off.
Was that Joshy or was that Glenn?
Where?
The dog. Was it a puppy or a grown dog?
A big dog.
Baby, Amazon is here, so that's why. But it's probably it's a Cliff. It's a Glendale. But Chase, any thoughts here?
No.
Sammy?
No, I mean, okay, Aisha. What a restaurant at? What a pig is at? She's talking a lot of talk, and I'm not seeing no walk behind it. And that's just no tea, no shade. It's 2 seasons in. Came and talking about the people plates. You the queen of Jackson. You the queen of Jersey. You the queen of everywhere you go. It's time to start producing, and not producing like Marie Monroe does. Orchestrating, but it's time to start producing some of this stuff. Time to start walking it like you talk it, and that is my issue with Aisha. You've talked a great game. You seem to be one of the most astute businesswomen in Jackson, and I don't see anything. There's been nothing to show for it. Not a restaurant, not a penny or a pinto put into Ferris Street. What the hell is going on? Because at this point,
definitely not a gala.
Okay, prom. You threw a prom, and we thank you for that.
This is where I have the problem with her. It's like you was talking all that game, like you the big dog, dirty plates is beneath you, whatever. But you were like, oh, I thought I was coming into something established. So you thought you was gonna hop on some shit and put your name on it and act like you did something. That's where like you lost me. You're not no businesswoman. And let me tell you something, you gotta be real careful about these businesswomen who always talk about their business. But where's it at? 1. 2, you're not an expert, and that's clear as you probably hire other people to do stuff for you. but you for damn sure don't have any know-how to get stuff done yourself because you haven't done it. Not even with this gala. You had people having grazing tables in my gown. You want me to graze a table and have a charcuterie board in my gown? No.
My biggest issue with that too, Asia, is that she said that she thought she was coming in as something established.
Yeah.
Baby, by the first time you were trying to have to chase them around, you saw it wasn't established. So why not take off running then? You know,
So
like
she
that's
about
what a real
talk
that's what a
bad.
real boss would do.
She wanted to talk bad about him and blame it
Hmm.
on him. She wanted a story. She wanted more camera time. Like
Well,
nobody's
trick
stupid.
for her because she getting it too.
And I'm glad Marie was honest. Like, girl, don't do that. That's what SE for. I
But
pay her.
Marie also said that on the show too.
Yeah.
Like, so she knew that. Sammy.
I enjoyed Aisha part one and part two. I thought Willie having her back was cute. I hope she takes care of herself and her health gets better.
You think she should go
So,
work out with Sogucci?
I think she should go work out with Sogucci, I guess.
Not
alrighty.
sure not Keisha booty liquor. Anyway.
Well, this is where I feel it started getting interesting to me because I was kind of asleep up until now in the reunion. But next up on the docket is Latrice and Seguchi's situation with Selena at the event Latrice had. Carlos asked Seguchi the history of the relationship with Selena, and Seguchi says there is none. Girl, stop lying. They do their own thing and didn't think there was an issue. Carlos says there are rumors about a throuple with Selena, Cliff, and Latrice, and Latrice says there is no truth to it. So Carlos then asks Seguchi if she thinks Latrice brought Selena on to the event to go at her. And Gucci says yes, because prior seasons, Selena wasn't at any of the events, but the minute she got put on the show, she was invited to go. And I said, score one, Gucci. So Latrice says that is not true because Gucci had an issue with Latrice and not the other way around. Latrice trying to say that it's Gucci that was mad about the realtor thing. I'm fine, I got my building. And Carlos plays a clip of his interview with Selena where Selena says Gucci says she was going to throw a drink at her. And they played the tape back, and so Gucci did in fact say that. Gucci says Selena, even if that's the case, Selena did not react in the moment. It happened later on. And Leticia says that Gucci knew the extra comment would trigger Selena, but it's still no excuse for that behavior. So I will start off with you, Sammy.
Bum, bum, bum. Well, clearly, the whole Soguchi. I mean, first off, I would have loved for Selena to be there.
No,
Soguchi played a game because granted I had already felt like she asked for it, but I did think that Selena just hit her because of not being able to hold her temper. But to know that Soguchi was saying I'm gonna throw a drink on her face, and Selena in fact said, "Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do it," and that's what started. I mean, I did feel bad for Soguchi to begin with.
Me
But
neither.
I mean, I really don't at this point. I do think that she was invited to antagonize Soguchi. Like, even when, not only that Selena didn't make an appearance until this season, but even when you and Soguchi were on good terms, she still didn't make an appearance. It wasn't until you and Soguchi had a falling out that you claimed that you were unaware of that you decided to bring Selena on there. So it was to get at her.
Yep.
I mean, it's clear, but I mean, at the same time, Soguchi, it could have just been a conversation. But also, I'm not mad at the extra comment because her personality was extra, her attitude was extra. We don't speak no other time. Now
And
you
he
want to
was
grab
an
her
extra.
shoulder and you was an extra.
Bottom line. Asia.
Ditto.
Chase.
Asia, we've been doing this show for quite a while, amen?
I hear you.
And from day one, what have I always said?
You said that old girl Selena was brought on to get under Soguchi's skin
I've
because
had people in the
her and
comments
Latrice was
attack me.
beefing.
Huh?
Because her and Latrice was beefing, but Latrice acted like she didn't even know they were beefing because she had got her building that's unfinished and ain't no chandeliers in the bathroom.
But at least nobody on these other squares attacked you for that because we all.
No. Not necessarily. So I won't say that I was attacked. But I would say, that some of the girls up here, gave certain people the benefit of the doubt when they was drinking that Treese juice. And it's just glad to hear that everybody gonna be real about it. And in the comment section too, and you know who you are in the comment section, who was riding for that Treese, drinking that Treese juice. And it is very much said. And just
I'm
as
so sorry. I am out of cookies to give.
you ain't gotta give me no cookie. You ain't gotta give me no cookie, baby. It is what it damn is, and what it is that
Chase, you was
we
right.
You was
thank
right,
you.
Chase.
Thank
You.
you.
Who,
I don't
who
want no
said you
cookie.
was
I
wrong?
just want to know. I want
Who
you
was
like
drinking
to
the
know
Treese
what's
juice?
real.
I was drinking the Treese juice at first.
Oh,
She's so pretty. I mean, it's easy.
That ain't why. I just really didn't like some of the other people that was against her.
Chase is right, but it took that explanation, I think, for
For it to
everybody to
click
be like,
for me.
you're right, because she hasn't been around on this at all. All of a sudden, it's your friend, and not Glenn, Clifton slept with her. Like, it's a lot. That's a lot. So yeah, she was there to get under her skin, and we know it, but Soguchi caught it. Now, what Soguchi also caught was hands.
She kind
So
of faded, but I also said you can't be up there selling no wolf tickets because it was clear when you go back and watch the episode. She said she was gonna throw a drink in, but do it then, bitch. She was
Yeah,
acting big and bad.
it's
And I'm
easy
not
to
saying
snap.
that.
Snapping is easy. It's easy. We saw with Monique and Candace. It don't make it right, but it's human nature. So what you gonna do about it? When somebody snap, they snap. Oh well.
yeah. And
I mean,
viewers,
and you cannot.
Extreme.
and
Pressing
You
to
charges
the
can.
is extreme.
and to the late viewers, us, just so y'all know, in case y'all don't know, this always be a little inside joke when Chase be right about something. He love to check us. So don't think we really, fussing. This Chase always get us like this.
well, before
Look
we
at
move
his
on from
face.
this, I
Look
do
at
want to
I
say,
want
that.
to say what I gotta say.
are you not done?
He got y'all
I didn't
good.
get a chance to get it out.
Oh,
Go
go ahead,
ahead.
baby.
You better get that thing down there, baby. You better get that thing down there. Anyway,
Name them.
huh?
Name them.
You, Sammy,
Oh,
get it?
I'll take a you. Just
Okay.
Come on, because we
Anyway,
got Potomac in 20 minutes.
yes.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
what I would like to say is you
Man.
cannot, do what So Gucci was doing and excuse me, you cannot do what So Gucci was doing and be surprised if somebody decide to whoop your ass.
The
That's what they call it,
potential.
consequences and repercussions. So the consequences and the repercussions was you was gonna throw your drink in your glass at somebody, and you ended up being on the floor in your drink juice and that glass yourself, rolling around looking stupid. So you might want to watch your mouth, and
Lesson
hopefully she's learned
learned.
a
Leave
lesson.
people alone. Leave people
Yeah,
alone.
learn
Pretty
because
much.
she was being extra, but you called her extra. What you thought was gonna happen?
she
That
was
lady
being
was
an extra
there.
before she was called that hell.
I mean, but what you thought was gonna happen?
They
But I
both
do think
did.
she being that she initiated it, the physical part, drop them damn charges. So she's scared. Put a restraining order or something, but just drop the charges. I mean,
Because it's not that serious. It
you
ain't.
started it. You started.
I
You
was
said you
shocked
were
that she
going
pressed
on it.
charges. Danny,
Me
go
too.
ahead, because I know we got a big part to
I
get
was,
into.
no, I agree with you. I was really, I didn't like that at all. You trying to, and it's still, I'm confused why her daughters don't like you. But we'll get into that now. So Carlos brings out Sanjay and Sky, JJ's daughters. And he just flat out asks them, where do they stand with Saguchi? And they say they really don't have a relationship with her. They don't like how she was as a stepmother. Saguchi vehemently denies that she was a bad stepmother to them. She was like, well, child, helping y'all do y'all homework, cooking y'all food and stuff was a bad stepmother. Then, child, I don't know. And they say she doesn't want them to be a part of their life with their father. Carlos then asked them how they felt about Gucci pressing charges on their mother, and they said they went too far, and there's no coming back from that on their end. Carlos asked where they stand with their father, and they say they are not on speaking terms. And he asked JJ, how can they fix it? Because it's terrible. And JJ says, God darn it, I don't know, because that's not how they were raised. And he blames it on their mother, and they definitely don't like that. And then, they continue to argue back and forth, and Carla decides that he is ending this conversation because he doesn't want it, to go too far on TV. And I actually applauded that because anybody else would have kept exploiting that, so I actually applauded that he ended that there. And he tells the daughters, he lost a parent, and we see Aisha get really emotional, wanting to chime in. He brings JJ close to his daughters and asks them that at some point they talk with each other. Behind the scenes in the dressing room, the daughters tell JJ if they want blended families, then it has to include their mother. And I said, okay, because I really agreed with that. A blended family is a blended family. Um, Asia, thoughts?
I think I don't have much to say about it, but you cannot talk bad about your ex to your kids in front of your kids. It's just not.
Not good.
It's not good, and it's gonna create division. And they're having kids. You are gonna exclude yourself from their life. That's it. So JJ needs to do better. So Gucci, I don't know, because I don't know how I would feel in that situation if I was so Gucci. I think her and Selena have to have a talk, and it's simply like when I'm at work, leave me alone. We don't like each other. We could be cool, cordial, but don't get up in my face. Don't start playing with me with this because it's not going to be good for our family. Squash.
I like that. Chase?
Listen, I want to say that it was very hard to watch. It was cringe. It was real, but it was very uncomfortable. And I am glad that it did not go much further. Um, that whole situation is a mess. And change starts from the top. So if the top can't get it right, you can't expect the bottom to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
If the top ain't right, which is the parents, namely, first you got to get Sogucci and Selena on the same page. Then, JJ, Selena, and so JJ and Selena, JJ, Selena, and Sogucci. Once that's sorted out, then the children see you guys have been leading by example, showing them and showing your actions that you're serious about being a blended family and just actually having the basic level of human decency and respect for one another. Maybe it can be fixed, but it's a whole lot of pointing of the fingers. It's a whole lot of throwing things in people's face. And I don't think anybody's really ready to move on from their hurt at this point. And it's sad to watch. Um,
Chase, I agree with you about when it starts with the head because what I do see and what I've observed is I started to think back, back to when we started seeing family scenes of them together, and it doesn't ever look like those girls ever had any respect or love coming from Saguchi. She always seemed very cold and distant to them. Granted, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, I don't know what they're like to her behind the scenes, but from what we see on camera, it definitely looks like Saguchi does not like them.
I feel like it's vice versa. I feel like the same way.
Yeah, and I'm not going to negate that Soguchi had mentioned that there was conversations about her between Selena and the girls getting back to her. So
Yeah.
so clearly there was something else going on. I do appreciate the way Carlos handled the conversation. I feel like honestly that was the only resolve we got throughout the entire three parts. Like, and I can't even say that it was resolved, but that was the only thing that we kind of.
It was because they went backstage. He went backstage.
Right.
So it was.
Right. So this is the thing. So Selena and Soguchi, they have to speak. I mean, without that, it has to have a conversation. And I know that we've heard like early on, or when we first started watching, that the rumors were how allegedly how Selena wasn't there for the girls, and it was Gucci and JJ taking care of them. Even if that was the case, at this point, those are grown women now, and they form their own idea of how it was, or even if they move past it, this is where they are now with their mama. JJ and Selena have to, not Selena, Gucci, they have to respect that. Now, when it comes to the girls saying a blended family includes their mama, I'm going to agree. However, in Soguchi's defense, Selena's going to have to show that same respect that they're pushing for her to give to Selena, because I'm not going to sit here and be in a one-sided situation and allow y'all to attack me or do whatever you can, if it's passive-aggressively, just for the sake of y'all being a family. Like, it ain't gonna work like that for me. Yeah. So we're gonna all get on one accord and we're gonna all treat each other one way, or this is just gonna be what it is. And at this point, we're gonna have all kind of decisions to make.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but the reason I say there was still no resolve is because even though they went backstage to talk, when the girls told him it's not gonna be no blended family unless my mother's part of it, JJ brushed that to the side quickly and said, "We can't worry about that. We just got to worry about what's in front of us." So there was no resolve.
Step at a time or something on the side. But being that they weren't speaking at all,
it was
they were able to go into the back and have some type of conversation to say, we need to have these type of conversations. I'll give a cookie for that. But I mean, it has to be fair.
It wasn't resolved, but it was a step.
They took a step, yeah.
I guess I'll agree with y'all. It was the most attempt at a resolve that we got the whole 3 episodes.
Well, I mean, seeing how the host was.
So, uh, as we wrap up, the ladies are alone on stage with Carlos, and he tells them he appreciates them all. He asked Leticia what is next, and she said her marriage is good and she is gearing up for her next brunch tour, baby. Them comments about the cold food and dirty plates is not stopping her. She's going on a second world tour with her brunches. Um, Sogucci has gotten into acting and is also partnering with local schools to combat obesity and is also investing in properties. Marie is continuing to expand her healthcare empire before retiring. I know that's right. She wants that income. Keep coming in, baby. I ain't mad at it. Aisha says her and Willie are reinventing their foundation. Hallelujah. She is also investing in a vegan restaurant and is also working on an energy drink for, like 40-year-old mothers and stuff, because she found herself being more run down at this age being a mother. Tambra, forgot she was there, is focusing on her motherhood journey and is very emotional, and she is back working and has her own podcast now. Latrice is on an exciting journey and is excited to expand Goddess Lengths. Her and Cliff are also opening a restaurant together. I bet you that restaurant will be done before her new building.
Absolutely.
It's done.
And then the episode ends with some champagne and a cake for Aisha's birthday. So, Sammy.
Aisha, we got enough energy drinks. Your mommy drink is gonna be a wash. I wouldn't even bother. Honestly, in my opinion. Everybody else, kudos. What I'm going to say about Leticia, you going on this? If the Bells come back for season 4, I better not hear nothing about no cold food, no dirty plates, no nothing. At this point, I gave you passes because you were just starting. Your money probably wasn't right, but now you can get a team. You can get them cities you're going to. You can get some caterers. You can do it the right way. If you do it the wrong way, you continue to get these kind of complaints. I'm going to talk real bad about you next season. I mean, extremely bad because no.
So, and everybody, I want to remind you the link is in the comments for calls if anybody wants to call in. Asia? Nothing. You got nothing?
I don't.
Chase?
Well, I, for one, am excited for brunches across America, and I can't wait to go see what the hell she's serving to eat and what the hell they're going to be talking about. And
Well,
if
I will go with
anybody's
you.
going to be drunk on her panel this time. Outside of that, I don't care about what any of them are doing because it does not suit me as a consumer. However, what I will say is I am excited for them in the future and best of luck to them in their future endeavors.
Baby, you are giving me that everybody's so creative.
Brunches across America is hilarious.
So,
Listen, I
going
want to ask this.
Mm-hmm.
The season, give me the season 1.
Well, that's where I was headed. So glad you went there, because that's what I was going to ask.
Well,
so glad you
season
did.
1 through 10. And what would you improve next season based off of your score for the season and the reunions? Whoever wants to go for it.
7.
6.
And what I would improve is bring the authenticity back.
Mm-hmm.
Before they got super popular, seasons 1 and 2, they were not performing as much for the camera, in my opinion. Now that they garnered a new audience, it seems like they're performing more, and it's not having the effect that they think they have. Bring back authenticity. Don't worry so much. Give us the rawness that we fell in love with. It's why we watched the show. It's why I got sucked in. I'm telling everybody to watch Bells, and it was like, what's that? Mm-hmm. And now people are watching it, but I don't feel like they're getting the bells that we got in the beginning.
Yeah, we got such great bells. We got a caller, y'all. I'm sorry. Hold on one moment.
I would change Latrice.
Hold on, wait, Asia.
That's it.
Hey, Art World, you got 1 minute.
Hey, Art.
Hey, how are you guys doing? Look, I know y'all give Leticia a hard time and Glenn, but I love them. They are a mess to me. They bring entertainment to this show. Glenn checks in. He is a full-on mess, but he checks in. I don't care. I like them. He's a mess. I think that I like him. He's just like what's his name? The other dude.
Cliff.
He's kind of like Cliff, but Cliff is not likable. Glenn is likable,
yeah,
but
now.
Yeah, and the difference.
He's charming.
He's
when he started
charming, yes, he's charming, and I do think he loves his wife, and he's just a child, he's just a child. Cliff, on the other hand, wants to control his wife, and I don't like that. Glenn tries, but I don't know. I just like them. They're a mess. They're dysfunctional, but I like them. I'm sorry, I do.
That's okay.
But overall, I love the reunion this season. I liked it better than last season. It's a reunion. I really enjoyed the reunion. I'm glad it was 3 parts. They needed the 3 parts. And I love when the girls have fun, when they had the moment where they were just joking around and laughing. I love that. I don't like when they bicker because it just gets a little too personal sometimes with some of the things that's going on, and I don't like that part. But overall, I enjoyed the reunion, and the season was cool.
No, well,
Well,
thank
thank you
you,
so
Barbara.
much.
Okay.
Thank you for calling.
Bye.
We appreciate all of your
Bye,
support. Seriously.
well,
Our world
Okay.
be our everything, baby. Our world
I
is one of our
try.
ride or
We'll see you
die.
next at Potomac.
Yeah, we'll
Be
see
there.
you on Potomac.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, Asia, you were giving your score was, and you said you would get rid of Latrice.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, what was your score again?
6.
Okay, Sammy.
mine is a 6 as well. I would bring in a new Belle, maybe remove Tambra because she's not participating. I would have the own network to get the programming together. Those long, unnecessarily lengthy breaks, they make the viewers lose interest. And the fact that I was already not interested in coming back, because you got to remember in that little span, we got all the shows hit Bravo back. So then we come back for these last couple of episodes, and then it's a bunch of garb. Like that could have been actually, y'all could have gave us this reunion way before y'all could have done some other stuff. I do another thing. I didn't enjoy the reunion. Nothing got resolved. I still don't know. Was they lying about the text message stuff with Aisha? I don't know about the Capitol. Was it all a setup? We was just a bunch of blah 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 blah. I want Carlos is a producer, so he knows what he wants. Pull that out of them girls. I feel like he has a real close attachment to them, and he kind of cares for them. So I don't think he drilled the way that he should have because of his connection to them. So maybe pulling somebody else to help you do it if you don't want to get them. But I just this starting it all off this year or late last year, watching season 1, season 2, and then to get this, it was a letdown. And I didn't enjoy the last half of it, and the reunion didn't help out either. Mm-hmm. So yeah, do the programming better and stop taking them long breaks.
What's your score, Chase? We got 1 minute.
The first half of that season was so explosive. It would have gotten an 8 for me, but I think I'm around the 5 because the second half we got a lot of filler episodes, and then like the last 2 or 3 episodes are really good. And I don't think that that's a good make. The break is not necessary. I loved it because it was an 8-episode watch, 2-episode reunion. You get in, you get their life, you get it jam packed, and it's authentic. I think that if Carlos is going to continue to host the reunions, he is the producer. He casts these girls. He knows their intimate stories. And he knows what buttons to push. And I want to see him press harder. You know where the bodies are buried. Let's get these things answered. And I totally agree with in regards to getting new Bells. I would love to see some new Bells come in that are feisty, spicy, but not that one who owned that called Stowe Boutique, because now her, because I don't fuck with her. But that's that. That's what I feel.
Well, Chase, you want to close us on out for the season?
Well, Bells, thank you for ringing with us and watching us in the audience, as you guys have always done. You kept it alive, and we were so passionate about it after we saw those girls get up and run from Glendale in a scene that they say is not scripted. I was like, who the hell are these people? And then I go back and watch the first 2 seasons, and it's so authentic and raw. And Asia was like, I've been here. I've just been waiting on y'all to catch up, baby. And, Danny for hopping on and helping us. Sammy for being a ride or die. I appreciate it. Another season ends, and we will see you guys in a few moments in Potomac and throughout the rest of the week as we always do. But most importantly, I want to thank the viewers for keeping us here. And you're the reason why we do it. So thank you for watching this show, and leave us a comment about what you think should happen, for the next coming seasons of Belle Collective. Thank you, Sean, Isabel, Art World, TKC, Robo's Adventure, Elizabeth, Zeta, and everybody else who's watched throughout the season.
Yep.
All
Love
right.
you all. Good night.
Good night, y'all.